Hi, and welcome to Transparent with Tina. I am Tina Marx, your host. Today's guest is an author, award-winning international speaker, actress, model, and CEO founder of Powers Fitness Events. She's a 10-time heavyweight body champion. She's here to talk about all of this and why faith is such an important part of her life. Up next, Lauren Powers. Welcome, Lauren. So nice to meet you face to face.
Right? I know we've been going back and forth. Yeah. Thanks, Tina, for having me on your show.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so excited for you to be here. So
fun to meet people, new entrepreneurs, see what everybody's up to. We're all,
exactly. This is a show for entrepreneurs and how people got where they are. So let's start off with your story. You are a former firefighter. You're also an author, award-winning speaker, actress, model, TV and radio host, CEO, founder of Powers Fitness Events. Okay, right. So you started off as a firefighter, correct?
Right. So I've always been an athlete. I was a pro skateboarder through school. I was on the Pepsi skateboard team. I did a world tour and all that. Yeah, and my first thing as a pro athlete. So that was fun. And then I moved to Hawaii right out of high school and opened a surfing school. So
wow.
Tons of tourists how to surf. And so that was fun. And then when I came back to the States, I got into sales and I've sold anything from real estate to cars to you name it, I've sold it. It's my passion. It's my purpose. It's my gift. I don't know. I just know how, if I like something, I share it. And it's pretty simple.
Right.
And so that's kind of been the deal. But then going into firefighting, that was later on. I was 34 when I went into the fire academy with like 18 to 20-year-old boys, had to kick all their butts, right? So I got super strong. There's a story in my book actually, but I got discriminated against. And so that was pretty devastating just to be.
Can you share that?
I can. I mean, it was a big deal. And I worked for the fire department. I was like number one out of the reserves to go into full time, and all this stuff happened. But I got cut off at the knees because the guys were intimidated by me because I was already in officer classes. I got promoted to engineer, and they knew they'd be working for me and, good old boy club.
Right.
That kind of sums it up. So that was a big deal. I made change just to, on the backside and the positive thing of it. Although I was devastated and I lost my career, is I made change for any female going through the fire service oral interviews, if you will, across the nation. So what happened to me will never happen to another woman.
That's again. Fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they call me like the silent hero. I was supposed to do all these huge interviews and be in magazines and all kinds of crazy stuff. I actually got asked to go speak in Washington on the subject of gender discrimination and all these things. But at the time, my attorneys are like, you know what, you've been through so much. It was 1.5 years of depositions. There was a big lawsuit. It was a big deal at the time. And he's just like, you know what, just live your life. You made change and move on. And so in hindsight, what that did, Tina, is that prepared me to be in this fitness world because I got super strong to pass all these agility tests and, do the tasks and duties of a firefighter, that I got all the crazy biceps and got super strong. And went to the Olympia in Las Vegas, got discovered just walking around on the Expo floor. I won the Battle of the Bicep show.
Whoa, slow down. You got to, you just like swipe right by that. You got discovered how?
Walking around at the big Olympia. It's the biggest show for fitness in Las Vegas. And I got discovered there just walking around, but I got pulled out of the audience and put on stage to win a contest for battle at how many bicep curls you can do in a minute.
Yeah.
And there was, how many women were there? 50 something women went ahead of me, and I was the last one, and it was in pairs. And so they needed one more to get on stage. And so the MC saw me in the audience and plucked me out. And I'm like, no. And then my friends are like, get up there, just do it. Well, I end up winning. I got the most bicep curls. And
how many was that?
It was 53 bicep curls with 55-pound dumbbells in 60 seconds. So it was, it was pretty.
So I almost won a second.
Almost went a second. Yeah, that was pretty strong. So I was just going for, right, just going crazy. There's judges and it's a big crowd. It was this huge thing in the expo. And what was funny is the girl that I beat, she was winning it all the way until I got up there. She's a plan, it's rigged, and she wasn't even entered and blah, 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 because I literally was plucked out of the audience. And I'm like, here, you can have my t-shirt. Like, I didn't care. Like, here. What I didn't realize, it was tickets for 2 VIP to the Arnold Schwarzenegger competition in Columbus, Ohio. It was airfare, hotel, and VIP with Arnold was the prize. So that's why she was mad. And I'm like, so I won that. And that kind of launched my whole fitness career, because I went to that show. I got pretty well known. I came back literally as a celebrity bodybuilder. I was all over the websites and all this stuff happened. I went on national TV, and then I started getting all these acting jobs, and I'm pretty well known in Hollywood now. And just like all this stuff just happened but if I had stayed in the fire service, none of this life would have happened. You know what I mean?
You know what? I love that you said that, because you know what? I do believe everything happens for a reason. I think a lot of the time, you know, it looks like it's the worst thing that's happening to us. It's just God's way of going, there's something better in store. And I have to remind myself of that. I mean, I'm going through something right now myself that I've got to keep remembering that. But you know what, when it comes to your emotions and it comes to grieving or whatever that is, it can be difficult to apply that, you know? So it's like you're being launched. I've said this several times. It's like a slingshot. The more you're being pulled back, the more that you're going to be launched.
Correct.
Like when you feel like you just cannot take anymore. I mean, sometimes I'm like, I think you got stuck on me. I think it's time for somebody else.
I just say, good thing I have big, strong shoulders, because I carry a lot on the weight of the world on my shoulders.
Right. And yeah, that's so true. And you know what? I do believe that. I believe that the people that are learning their lessons the best get assigned the more difficult tasks, just like school, right? I mean, the smarter you get and the more knowledge you have, the more you're expected out of you. Yeah, exactly. So going to the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, because I was just going to say that, because you've worked with Jennifer Lopez, Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, others, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just a few. I mean, and there's others too. So that going to Arnold's show actually like puts you on the map, so to speak.
Well, it did, because I went around and kind of I was the new kid in town, actually, if you will, and I was looking the way I did. People were like, "Wow, who is this? Who is this?" People mistake me for a professional bodybuilder, and I hadn't even been in the show, and so I kind of got a lot of attention, really, and I did a lot of. I haven't met a camera that I don't like. Let's put it that way. So I'm constantly getting my picture taken and posing, and I got really, really comfortable and good at that. And so I just got spread out worldwide, and I started traveling. I did 10 years of a world tour, going around to all the different competitions and nationals, the world competitions. I ended up becoming a judge for the USA. I end up, as you said in my bio, I end up owning a show. I've won 10 shows overall. I'm pointing up here, but I've got a whole bunch of trophies. Yeah, you know, it's just crazy.
And you, like, you were always into fitness, but so, like, you know, between the surfing and the skateboarding, then the firefighting, where did the bodybuilding come in? I mean,
after all of that.
So is that what you were going for after the firefighting? You weren't. So it was just,
no, it found me.
I was going to say, so it found you.
That's right. And that's back to what you were saying. It's like, it was God's way of just showing me, because that door completely blocked.
Yeah.
But then what I say, you know, I say this from stage a lot, is that, you know, one door closes, they say, but for me, like, the world opened up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was my question, because I was going to say,
it found me, and I found, I was pushed to, you know, national television. I was put on all these websites. Like, it was simple. And I find, and I feel that the message is, when something's so difficult and you keep pushing, that may not be your path, and you're going against God's will, really. If you just keep trying to, you know, and I was like forcing it, and it just never came easy to me. Everything in my life, I'm an only child, I'll just admit, I'm like spoiled. I get what I want because I go after it, but I do the work. But I'm used to that. That's just my lifestyle. Right. I don't know any different. I was like, I'm like, why can't I just get this? You know, this firefighting thing, I got discriminated against. This is just not the way things happen for me. But in hindsight, it did me a favor because I wasn't meant to be in that position. I was meant to be doing what I'm doing now, like a global speaker and traveling and impacting and influence other women, and they can be fit and fearless and all these things and fears. And, my whole program, I'll go into later, but, so it wasn't meant to be. Like you said, everything happens for a reason. And if you understand that when things and tragedies or things like this happen to you, you don't go down because of it. You look at it as an opportunity and like, okay, God, what's next for me? You know what I mean? If this isn't what I'm supposed to do, then what am I? And then, so once I realized that and got that as a mindset, I'm telling you, Tina, my life became so much easier. The path just opens up and things just come to me. I do the work,
Yes.
but it's not blocking. It's not a struggle. It's like,
Exactly. You're not resisting it. And I've said this many times too, because when you resist what's in front of you, what God has put in front of you, when you resist that, it's like you're cutting off the energy of the universal flow. Right. And you kind of, but what's interesting, what you just said, I think we've been taught all this backwards, because you said, when you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, the door's not opening, maybe that's not your path. And we've been conditioned to not believe that. We've been conditioning, you just keep going, work harder, work smarter, whatever it is. So
right. Not give up and don't be a quitter.
Right.
Yeah, but there's only to extent.
Right.
I believe that I go all the way and I don't quit on anything or give up. But that gave up on me. I didn't have a choice. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm such
it gave
because I'm a fighter and I push and I push.
Yeah.
And so what happened, it just shut me down. It chopped me down. I'm like, boom, done. You're like, this is it. Because of that. So, because I'm so powerful with my will that like I said, it gave up on me and I didn't give up on it. So that's the difference. Right.
And then you have to stay open. Yeah. That's when you stay open to other things.
You stay open to different opportunities and don't let things like that tear you down and happen to you. I talk about it in my book. I've been judged, obviously been discriminated against. I've been all these things, but it's how you handle these situations in life, how you come out on the back end is where the strength and the power and it comes in and how,
right.
And you keep pushing through. That's push through.
So you either harness your power or you give your power away. Basically.
Yeah. One or the other, A or B, which one you want.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be powerful and pitiful at the same time, can you?
I like that.
So, you say that you're a faith and fitness queen, focusing on females to be fit and fabulous, putting their faith first. Let's talk about that. So we're talking a little bit about faith. So how does faith play out a role in your life, and when did that start? And let's just unpack that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I've always had faith, but not like I do today. I've just experienced so many things now and so many signs and wonders, if you will, even just what we're talking about right now. It's like getting out of your own way and trusting and having faith in a higher power, God, whatever you want to call it. I choose God and I believe in Jesus, but that's my choice. And things just became so much easier for me. And so now, and I've been going to this new fabulous church. I got baptized in the ocean. The pastors were praying over me. We made this whole video's coming next. I mean, the whole thing has been documented because it was so powerful. And so many people, I was crying. I mean, I just feel so filled with the Holy Spirit. I'm praying. My clients are all faith-filled, people like-minded. I mean, just everything is elevated up because of my belief in my system. And it just it's just like download. I was talking to the girl, I was new at this church, and I'm like, she's like, you need to do something for the women here and fitness. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, we'll call it faith and fitness. And she's like, I love that. Right. Just like that. And so then the pastor walks by and I go, Mark, what do you think, Pastor Mark? I go, I want to even change this as being here. I feel so connected with the Holy Spirit and I'm so empowered by being here. I want to change my whole business, my whole focus, and call it faith and fitness. And he just hugged me. And I felt like right then and there, I was like anointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just things like, it just came out of my mouth.
All fell in line.
It just fell in line in alignment. And I'm like, I say God is my CEO. And I'm like, how can I go wrong in business when God is your CEO? Hello.
Right.
And so ever since I changed that mindset of my own,
Mhm.
and started promoting it and not being afraid to share this on platforms like this. I don't care.
Yeah.
People though are coming out. My tribe is getting bigger and people are acknowledging that and they love it. I've never said someone say, oh no, that sucks. Like it's never happened.
Right.
Everybody's like, oh, I love that, Lauren. That's so great. God, everything's going to be so different for you. You're going to, you're going to attract better people and that, or, on the same mindset and putting, God first and all these things. And it just made sense. And so it's been only about 5 months, something like that. So it
Really?
hasn't been yeah, since I've really focused and changed my name and did all these things in my company and always on every platform I say God first and then your fitness. So faith and then fitness in that order.
Right.
Because I believe, and it's happened to me, everything in your world levels up. It just does. And
No, absolutely. And we have a tendency when things go wrong, the first thing we do is we start blaming ourselves and our unworthiness comes out and we start beating ourselves up. I mean, there's only one of two paths. You either do that, or you lean into God more. And, it's easy to lean into God when everything's going well. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. Blessing.
Yeah. And then when the ego, I don't know if you've heard of this acronym, but it's ego is edging God out. And that's really what does happen, when we become in a challenge that we feel that we can't handle. And, I don't believe we do this by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think all the challenges are for us to lean more into God, because we try to do it by ourselves. It's like, it just goes down a negative path, right?
Why not lean in? Because it's much easier. Whoa.
Lean in, exactly. But our natural reaction is when we're hurt is to resist it, right? It's like, oh my God, no more pain. I don't want to feel this anymore. So close up, isolate. I mean, I'm a master at doing that until I found my faith, and I'm not saying that I don't slip into it time to time. And then I've got to remember. And then I'm like, okay, look, that's why this situation's not getting better. And then when, I've said this over and over again, the serenity prayer too, which is, accept the things you cannot change and change the things you can, right? So we've got to know
the difference. Don't forget the last part.
Wisdom, exactly. And you know when to lay down your sword, right? I mean, so, and that's where I think a lot of depression comes in, a lot of destructive habits come in, because, I do believe the reason I really like to share this is because I feel like most people are living their lives like that. And it's all that everybody else has an upper hand, and why is it happening because I lived my life for that like that for a long time. Why is acceptance happening for them, or why are they in the relationship and I'm not? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and the comparison game. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's like, so you have to get silent
instead of collaborate and lift up.
Yeah. And do you have any kind of daily routine in your ritual with God? I mean, do you meditate? Do you pray? What do you do?
Yeah, I do it all. I wake up first thing. I do the verse of the day, and it's very simple too. You can actually take verses from the Bible too and put it on listen. And while I'm actually getting ready for my day, instead of having the news or something negative on, I have the word, and I'll just go wherever it goes, and I just hit listen, and I'm just supposed to hear what I'm supposed to hear for that day.
Isn't that the truth? You go,
faith.
Yeah, exactly. It's Well, my first book was The Domino Effect: Fear versus Faith. And it's like, you're always only in one of two mindsets. You're in fear or you're in faith. And, the first step is recognizing which one you're in. If you're in fear, how do you get into faith? Right. So, I mean, I'm just going on about this because it is probably the most important thing that you can know about your life. If you've got that down, everything else is manageable. But when you don't have that, it's not.
Yeah, it can be chaos. And is it always easy? No, it's not. And it takes a decision. You have to apply yourself. You have to implement things. You have to, really decide what you want and take a stand for it. And this is part of my programs too. It's a step 1, 2, 3. Decide, make a commitment, and take action. It's in anything, whether it's in your faith, in your fitness, in your health, or your wealth, or your business, whatever that may be, whatever that looks like for you. And those 3 things have to happen. And when it does, life is so much simpler. We're all in a hustle. We're in a pandemic craziness right now. I'll just tell you and your viewers right now, I actually got hit with the COVID. I'm probably the healthiest person I know. So I'm here to, my message is even deeper, that without your health, all this wealth and all this stuff means nothing. Nothing.
Right.
All the wealth around me, I could have had helicopters and Lamborghinis and limos and all this stuff, and I couldn't get off my couch. So what good is it?
How long ago was that, Lauren?
I just recovered. It was, gosh, I had it for over 3 weeks. 2 Mondays ago, I tested negative, and I was on a plane on Tuesday to the Big E Women Conference in Dallas, and I live in Orange County. So
yeah, I live in Orange County too. We have to meet because I want to hear about your church too. Because I'm
oh my gosh, you have to come to Ocean Church. I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit is in those tents. I've been to Saddleback. I'm sure you're aware of, Pastor Rick Warren and all that. I was going.
He wrote the Purpose-Driven Life.
Yeah, he's a very famous pastor. He was my pastor. He actually personally baptized me. First I went to that church. They were doing baptisms that day, and it was him. I'm like, oh, I'm all in. Like, oh, that's just how I am. Either all or nothing, right?
Right.
I got baptized. Everything's great. And I've been going, but it's such a mega church, and there's like 5,000 people at worship every Sunday. And I really liked it, and the music and all that, but there was never deep connections because there's so many people, and it's kind of cliques. I mean, I'll be transparent. It just is.
Yeah.
Whereas I found this Oceans, I was invited to go. And the minute I went there, people were like, hi, what's your name? I'm so-and-so. Wow, welcome. Everybody's so welcome. The pastors know your name. They come and talk to you. There's a new lounge booth where you get to meet people. I mean, it was just, but I was crying in the service. I'm like, what is happening to me? And they're like, that's the Holy Spirit. I never felt that, Tina, ever.
This is so timely. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, because I was just saying, I moved down here at the end of May, and I just sold my house in the desert. I just closed yesterday. So because I've been back and forth. And I was just, because somebody took me to another one. Same thing. It was just too big. It wasn't intimate. And, you do have to find the right one, because
just by talking to you and looking at your mindset and the fact that we're connecting on this, you'd fit right in. Everybody. Okay. So, open, they're beautiful people as well. Amazing. Like the pastor teases from the stage all the time. He's like, and I have the most good looking people, starting with your pastor. Like, he's just funny.
So he's funny too. Yeah.
He's
I like
really
that.
Funny.
I like when they throw humor in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He talks about real things every single week. It's like everyone there, we can't wait to go on Sundays. Like, we can't wait. And
I want to go. I want to be your guest. Let me know when I can be your guest.
Please. I'm on security team. I'm on the new lounge team.
I bet you are.
Yeah, I'm all in because I love it, and it's the Holy Spirit, and I cry. I'm praying in tongues now. I mean, my whole life has
changed.
Yeah, that just happened last week. One of my clients that I train her in her physical fitness. And she's like, Lauren, I said something about when I had COVID, I was praying that I was like pastoring from a big stage, like as a speaker, but it was all preaching. And she just stopped, dropped the weights. And she's like, I need to pray for you right now. And she's had this huge download. And she's like, you are going to level up your faith right now. You're going to pray. We're going to pray in tongues and stuff. And I've never even heard of that. Right. And all of a sudden, it just started happening. It was like the most amazing thing, Tina. It was like unbelievable. That's how much the Holy Spirit is like here. She goes, you are so on fire for Jesus. Your faith is growing so quickly. You're on the fast track. And she's just going off. And I'm just like, it was amazing. So I'm like all in, and I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm the same way. My motto is like, go big or go home. Sometimes I feel like that gets me in trouble.
You're going to love this. You're going to love it. Get with me and we'll go next Sunday. It's the 3-year anniversary. It's going to be a big day.
Okay, perfect.
Where do you live? What town?
I live in Newport.
Oh, perfect. I'm in Aliso.
And where's the church?
Right off the 5 and Bake. When you come into Irvine Center?
Okay.
Where the big Ferris wheel is and all that? It's the street right before that.
Okay.
Building is it's going to be 3 years old on Sunday, and they've already donated so many charities, and it's very big on being generous church, and it's growing so fast. It started with 2 people. Now we're, I don't know, like 2,500 or something. Like,
okay. That's still big. Yeah. That's still big, but yeah.
Well, not as much we get about 600 to 800 per service, but everybody knows everyone. You'll see it. If you come with me, I already have known so many people that have been there not less than a year.
Oh, yay. I get the
parade you around. Parade you and introduce you to everybody, because it's so, I don't know, everybody's so warm and welcoming, and everybody has such deep faith. And
I'm excited. I mean, like I said,
yeah, there's your new home. I already found it for you.
I'm so happy. So
Everything for a reason, like you said.
everything happens for a reason. And man, I need this right now. I mean,
New home,
like I said, everybody that I get on my interviews, it's like, it's because, everybody schedules themselves. I don't go, well, I need to hear from her this week. You know what I'm saying? And that is God working in my life. Exactly.
Right? Yeah, he brought me right to you. Boom.
Yeah. Hey, listen, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Yes, it's called the Power Hour. As you can see behind me, Power Hour with Lauren. My new name is Lauren M. Powers. You like that?
Ooh, I like that.
Isn't that cool?
That was cool.
Yeah, because my other name is MacDonald, so that's where the M initial comes from, and then Power. So Lauren M. Powers.
Yeah, you didn't even. Yeah, that just makes perfect sense
here on the Zoom. But yes, it's kind of like your show too. It's very authentic, very transparent. Guests come to me. They book through my assistant, and unless I personally invite them. And we just talk about whatever their platform is. And it's just an opportunity to let other coaches, business entrepreneurs, whatever, share their message to the world. And we're just pushing it out. And it's a pretty big production. I'm very proud of it. It's going well. My team is all involved. I have a big, you'll see, you're going to be on it. It's a big deal. It's fun.
I can't wait.
It's every Monday at Pacific time. So our time here. On Mondays at noon. It's every week.
Okay.
I've had like Tanya Brown. She just came here and sat on my power seat. Nicole Brown, Simpson's sister. And she talked about overcoming all the tragedies and that OJ thing and all that. Sanity.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a red carpet we take pictures on and the step and repeat and all that. And then we sit in the power seat, and it's a big thing. You live in Newport, you'll come to my house.
I would love that. Yeah, absolutely. And
we'll go to church on Sunday, then do my show on Monday. You see how?
Yeah, there we go. And then lunch on Tuesday.
Exactly.
To discuss everything. You just froze there for a second. Are you Lauren? Hang on.
I'm here.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can.
I'm here.
Okay. Listen, you said, what is your 5-step strategy to becoming a better version of yourself from the inside out?
Well, first of all, you have to decide that you're worthy. And it's really turning off some of those limiting self-beliefs and that negative self-talk that we all have. And it just is what it is. And I deal with a lot of women that they say these things to themselves, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve time for myself. I've got to take care of my children and my husband and my business, and all this stuff has to come first. And I don't want to be selfish. And I hear all of these things right? Yes, we're all guilty of it, right? I'll never fit in those skinny jeans. I'm too fat. I've already let myself go. So what the heck? Like I've heard it all, and I see it. I see it where I go.
They buy into, I'm 40 or I'm 50. That's how I'm supposed to look.
That's right. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I'm too this. I don't have time. I don't have the money to have a trainer, blah, blah, blah. I heard it all.
Right.
And first of all, that's the first thing that has to go. That's step one, is getting rid of that negative.
So you help with that.
I help with that. It's the mindset is the first thing that's goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I deal with my clients all the time. It's free.
Yeah, we all do, because it's the most important thing.
So you give them like exercises and tools?
Yeah, we change the wording, and we replace the words.
Self-talk.
All the self-talk, and it's all from negative to positive. Pretty simple, basic, but not easy. Otherwise we'd all do it.
Simple, but not easy. Yeah.
That's correct.
Simple. It's very simple, but it's not easy. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And it's a set. And the strategy too is just the accountability and the community and all of that stuff. And you get me. Hello, that's priceless. But then we go over the supplementation, the nutrition portion of it, how much your sleep are getting or not getting, what your stress levels are, how much hydration you're getting. These are all steps that will go to overall health that we take for granted or we don't pay attention to. And right now we have to pay, it should be our first thing besides our faith again, because with this virus and all this stuff, like I went through it, you guys, and it's not pretty and it's not fun. And if I can get it, anybody can get it.
You weren't hospitalized though, were you?
No, because, and I believe because one, people from church were praying over me. Two, my faith was so strong. And three, I didn't buy into that. And I was healthy going into it. Like that, you know what I'm saying? So if I wasn't who I was, like if I didn't have underlying conditions and all these things that make things a billion times worse. So I pulled out of it, and then I got the right prescriptions at the end of it. And otherwise, I think I do believe if I was obese or not in shape or whatever, I could have went in the hospital and then go on the respirator thing and die.
Yeah.
It's not me saying it, it's what's happening in the news every day. You go in the hospital, you go in the thing, and you might as well, say goodbye because
that's exactly. And my mom used to say, your body is the temple of the living God. And it's really true. I mean, and that's one step when you start believing in God, you start going, it's not just me I'm disrespecting, right? So
that's right. When you complain, that's right. And so I teach grace, give your body grace. You're made in God's image. And so if you're complaining about yourself and loathing and looking in the mirror and saying, I hate this or that, you're telling God he did a bad job with you.
Exactly.
Really, most people don't think like that, but it's true to think about that. Can we always better and become the better version, like you said? Absolutely. Should we level up in his image? Absolutely. He wants you to be the best you can be from the inside out. So these things are important, but if having that mindset now, instead of beating yourself up, the first step is like, I meet you right where you are, whether you're 100 pounds overweight or 10 pounds, it doesn't matter to me. We just take you from where you are. I find out where you want to go, your goals or whatever, your desired outcome. And then I close that gap through my strategy that we're talking about and the steps and my experience, my knowledge and training and all the stuff that goes in it. The fitness part is just one piece of it. It's a lot of this that comes first, you know what I'm saying? But then we implement and we do the work and to get the results. But
you also train people that don't need to lose weight. They just need to get in better shape, correct?
Oh yeah, I can take you and sculpt you to be a bikini figure, fitness, physique, or bodybuilder.
You know what I want? I'm going to be 59 in November. All right. And I'm starting, and I think I did way too much cardio. I mean, I learned this later in life that if you do too much cardio, you tend to get flabby.
Skinny fat.
Yeah. So that's what and even though I obviously, that's what I want. I want to tone up everywhere because, with my arm, I've never noticed this with my arms. It's like, I'm doing the bicep curls. Obviously I need your help because I don't, it's not working. I mean, I'm not complaining that I feel like I was blessed with a good body and a good metabolism, but I also eat well and everything else. But I've never had this before.
That's my specialty. I'm a 10-time bodybuilding champion. So I know a little bit about sculpting the muscles.
Yeah.
I have a great gym here. I've taken every piece of equipment that you can find in your big gyms and narrowed it down to home equipment so I can train you and you can do the same things at your own home when you're not with me. So I teach you and I educate you as we're doing it. I don't just count the reps for you and send you on your way. So I'm constantly teaching so you can win yourself off of me for one, and then you can
that's what I was going to say. So because that's not normal. That's not normal. Normally it's like, you got to keep coming back. And I love that because you know what, for like coaches and stuff, teach them how to fish, right? Instead of, that's exactly what you do. Well, that's fantastic. What do you think are the common mistakes in, eating and exercise that people are doing wrong? They're like, I don't understand. The weight's not coming.
They're not drinking enough water. That's the first thing. We've got to stay hydrated.
For weight.
Yes, and detoxing and everything else. Water is like the goal. It should be your drug of choice, literally. Staying hydrated. I mean, see me, I got my Wonder Woman cup here. I drink all day long. It's like a habit. I've made hydration a habit because I made health a habit.
How much water would you recommend?
It depends on your body weight and your goals and what you're trying to do. But that 8 ounces or 8 glasses of water, that's not enough. Absolutely not enough. If you're competing in some of these other things and your physical exercise, of course, you want to replace your things. When 1 gallon, I mean, you can drink up to 1 to 2 gallons a day.
But I heard you can drink too much. You can die from drinking too much water.
You can, but that's like your.
No, I know, but I just want people to be aware of that because I don't want
drinking your pool or something.
No, I had a friend of mine that had to go to the hospital because she was drinking too much water. And
But your body will tell you, and you obviously urinate what you don't use. So it's
Right. Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? We got to be realistic here. But
So the water would be for weight. Yep.
Is a big thing, and not eating enough is usually a problem especially with my women that are, older, 40, 50, 60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
That they eat. Even my mom, she's like, "Why I'm getting this belly fat? I never had that. And I'm like, well, what are you eating?" She's like, "I only eat once a day." And I'm like, well, that's the first mistake. You're not eating enough. Your body is a machine, and it's like a car that needs gas. If it runs out of gas, it won't go anymore. But we need to fuel ourselves, and that is with foods. Protein drinks are great. Depends on what they are. There's some filled with fillers, and you got to be careful of the ingredients. But I allow people to have a protein drink if they're on the go. Better than nothing. Better than skipping. It's better to have that. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of egg whites in the morning, egg whites at night. This is to lose weight. I have all kinds of tips and tricks. I can go on and on, but these are all part of my programs.
Do you have any products, Lauren?
I endorse products. I don't make them.
Okay.
Or only certain ones. There's like 3 or 4 that I have my stamp of approval on that I endorse, and it's all on my website, my trusted brands.
Okay.
Because again, it's my reputation, and I had to have used it and got results for me to believe in it to share.
Right. That's how I am. Yeah. I don't promote anybody that.
In my garage, it's like, well, you'll see when you come over. I have so many products and so much because everybody sends me everything for free. Like I get all this stuff. Everybody wants me to take everything, but to get my stamp of approval on it.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work. There's a lot of, so I've already done the research. So when I tell you something, and it's because I use it, have been using it, I know it works, whatever it is that I say it does, that's because that's what it does. And it's successful because I'm all about integrity. Exactly. So there's certain things, yes, I do endorse a few products. I don't make them. I'm not a manufacturer. That's not my lane, if you will.
Right. One product that I'm using, I don't know if you ever heard of it, Living Fuel by Casey Crakey. It's amazing. I mean, you can live on this. You don't have to eat. His wife got very, very ill, and I love it. Because like I said, I was moving and I didn't have time to eat. But it gave me everything.
You need the nutrients. So however you get it, I'm a fan for that. I'm all about that. But so it's not eating enough is one of the biggest mistakes. Not getting the right macronutrients is another mistake.
Right.
Of course, avoiding workouts is a huge mistake. Doing too much cardio is a mistake. People think they're going to lose weight on cardio. It's actually, that's a myth. It's resistance training, because after you're putting loads on your body, you're burning calories after it's
right. Not just during.
Correct. So whether it's at 40 minutes or whatever it is you're doing on a treadmill, that's great, but then it's done. Strength training, resistance training lingers on, and that's what you want, the afterburn, because you're constantly burning, and then you need to put fuel back in your body within that golden hour. And so there's all these things, and it's very scientific, and the training and the time and duration and how much and reps and sets and all of this stuff. This is where my expertise comes in.
Expert. One question: how much cardio would you say you need a day?
It depends on your goal. Again, your age, your goal, what's your heart rate, what's happening with you. I'm personally not a big fan of cardio because it takes a lot of time. You know what I mean? I'd rather walking the dog around the block. That's good enough. But when you're trained with me, you're getting cardio in there because we do a lot of interval training. Interesting.
You're right. It does eat up a lot of time. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. And your warm up is cardio, and it again, it's very individualized. My programs are very personable because everybody's body's different,
right?
Differently, and I can see that, and I just have so much experience. I could just hone in right away, just say, okay, this
is exactly what you need.
And I get downloads. My trainings, I'm telling you, I don't have to write down programs or anything. It's when I'm with you, I can feel your energy. I get this thing from God, whatever. And I give the most amazing workouts. I'm really proud of it because this is happening since I changed my faith to faith and fitness. It's just happening. I don't have to think about it. It just comes. And, my clients are like, oh my gosh, this is the best. They're so excited. And I don't know. It's just a really fun energy change. Well, you'll experience it. You'll come in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to train with you. Do you? If somebody doesn't live in your area, do you ever do this over?
Yeah.
You do. You can.
Yeah. Right on the platform, I can totally train and feel your energy and then correct you your form, and I can see drop your traps or, move your elbows or whatever I can see. And so whether you're in a gym or your home equipment, whatever it is, I've got clients that are obviously not local. And so we just do it on Zoom, and it works out probably 98% as well as in person. In person is great because I can touch you and put my hands on you and physically correct you.
Absolutely. But, second choice.
Like you're lucky you live by me. So you get,
I know. I saw that. I was like,
you get the special.
That's the second thing that happened to me today. Okay.
Right. Now I've got your church, your
I got my church. I got my trainer. Those are the two major things I was looking for.
Baby.
In one person. Yeah.
You're going to be on my show.
You're going to be on my show. Yeah.
Red carpet. You get to be on my red carpet. It's all good.
Awesome. So
the stuff I endorse too. It's really exciting.
Yeah, and I want you to try Living Fuel too if you haven't tried that.
Yeah, I will.
I'll bring it over when I.
Yeah. I'm busy too, and so like I said, I'm a big fan of something versus nothing, but it's your choices. Don't, instead of grabbing a brownie or something like that, you drink a protein drink or whatever. Like there's always.
I actually love the way protein drinks taste. I mean, I do.
It depends on which ones, but that's my thing. You got to get one that you like. That
exactly.
That tastes terrible. I have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And if I don't like it, I'm not going to take it.
Well, no, of course not. Yeah.
Beach Body, whatever, great, big, huge company, whatever. They put me in as a coach and all these crazy things, but I didn't like it. I couldn't.
You can't promote it. Yeah.
Sell it. Even though I could have made a ton of money, it's not about that for me. It's about me putting my stamp of approval, and if I like it, then I can sell it. If I don't, I could sell it. Same thing.
You want people to trust you, right? Yeah. I mean, I can trust you if you're like this stuff.
But yeah, the CEO wanted to fly me to there, do the big, sent me boxes of all this products, and I look in the ingredients. I'm like, this is all, it's all crap, and I made all this money.
People don't realize that too with supplements. Like, okay, I'm going to get vitamin C. I'm going to get the cheap one. Well, sometimes they have so much filler in them. Instead of being good for you, they're actually bad for you. Which
toxic. That's right. Toxic. I endorse a DNA supplement that's based on science and it's based on your personal DNA. It's a VIP red carpet of supplements. I'll tell you about it later, but that's all I take.
Okay.
Because it's based on my body and it's exactly what I need. So I have all these products and that I bought or get free, I should say. And I buy this one because I believe in it, because it's based just for me. My name is on the bottle. It's made for me based on my genetic makeup. It's pretty.
Oh, I see.
It's badass.
That's amazing.
You swab your cheeks for a DNA, and then you get a 35-page report. And then it tells you on 18 snippets whether you have the gene from both your parents, one of your parents, or you don't carry it all. And then the supplement is based on the report, giving you exactly to the microdose what you need from what you're lacking.
Yes. Wow, that's insane.
That makes perfect sense.
Because it's not a one size fits all. Everybody is built differently. Yeah.
My report's different than your report. There's 400 trillion combinations, they said. So this company, I endorsed them pretty heavily. I met the CEO. I flew to Dallas. I did a tour of the plant. Like I met the people. I saw how it was made. Like and then I tried it. I've been taking it a year and a half now. And so this is something that I can endorse because
you feel a difference?
Well, I just love it. Well, first of all, the mindset, because I just wake up and I know I'm giving my body exactly what it needs to the microdose, and it's no more blind nutrition. Before I was guessing. I have all these products. I'm taking a little bit of this, post-workout, pre-workout, during workout, blah, blah, blah. I can take pills all day long.
Yes.
And then when I travel, you have to, takes me like
and I normally don't do it because I'm like, forget it. I'm not taking it.
I throw one thing in my bag and I'm good. Done.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Trust me, it's badass. It's awesome. I've got a lot of people on it.
So can you share the name with that so other people?
Yes. It's if you just go to Euphoria, UFORI, euphoria.com/Lauren Powers. That's my link.
Okay. Perfect.
It's on my website. It's one of my trusted brands. So
and your website is laurenpowers.com. So lastly, let's talk about your book, Beneath the Muscle.
Yes, mama. Yes, right here. #1 bestseller internationally in not one country, but 11 countries. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you. In 98 categories. So it's a big deal. And I'll tell you why. Because I tell a story, but then on the back of each chapter is a workbook on what you could take my experience, reflect it back, and write about it for yourself. So it's a working
So
book.
it makes it very individualized.
Yes, and it's a workbook, and it's free. The workbook's free after every chapter. You can just write, and it's easy, just like 3 or 4 questions based on what. Like I have a chapter, I just flipped it open: trust and integrity. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So it's all these kind of topics, things that never judge a book by its cover.
Find your, what were you saying? Find your why?
Your why. Your
Yes, that's what we do. I do with my clients all the time. That's where you have to start, because the goal is nothing if you don't have a why behind the goal, right?
Correct.
So like, with real estate agents, they want the money, but just money in itself is not going to drive you to do it, the action.
Right.
And, and you say that they can get the book at beneaththemuscle.com. They go there and then they just fill out what their information and they can download a free copy.
Yeah, digital copy, and it's in color, so you actually get the colors. It's actually pretty because it's on. All the pictures are in color versus in this book it's black and white. So fan favorites. There's me and Les Brown, and there's pictures of me.
Is there do you have an audio version by any chance?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, perfect. Because I listen to everything on audio, and then the hard
on Amazon. It's on audio. I've got this book. I've got the digital. I sign them. If you just pay for shipping, I can autograph and ship.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll get you. You're getting one when you see me.
I'm definitely getting one. I'm going to get the signed one. And I'm going to listen to audio when I do my walk on the Back Bay. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah. Listen.
It's very inspiring.
So what's next for you?
Actually, I'm meeting tomorrow with a huge coach that has like huge strategy for me, big plans to actually take my knowledge and how I've become like a famous athlete and how I branded myself to work with the celebrities and things like that. So I want to coach athletes looking to level up and brand themselves. What do you think?
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, she just had it. She's a faith-filled coach, and she's like, I got this huge download. I had to call you and tell you this. I had a 2-hour meeting with her this morning, and I'm meeting her tomorrow in person. And we're going to go through, of course I have to invest. I have to pay her because she's going to help me with the strategy and the systems and all this stuff. So
right.
A lot going on, but I'm ready to counting biceps or whatever you will it's great, but I need to scale because I have.
Absolutely. If you're not moving forward, you're actually moving backwards according to the laws of physics. And I say that all the time. And you just, you become complacent and it's like the first step towards like death. Really, it is.
Right. And I'm ready. All my pieces are in order. Like I got the book, I got the studio, I got the show, I got the training, I got I got the confidence. I have everything ready, the credibility, which is huge. I have all of that ready to go. It's just, I just need a team to help me.
Exactly. And everybody does. You can't do it alone. I mean, everybody should have a mentor or a coach. I mean, yeah, exactly.
You have to have confidence in yourself and take a risk that you're willing to pay other people to help you because you'll make the money back. Before I used to say this out loud. It was ridiculous and it was my own fault. I was like, by the time I teach a personal assistant to do this, I could have just done it myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No.
I've said that for a couple of years, and where did it get me? It got me stagnant, right?
Right. You can't get more time. You could have a lot of money, but you can't get more time. And if you can delegate, and don't try and do stuff that you're not good at, because people say, well, get better at that. No, get better at what you're good at.
Yeah, I want to stay in my lane. My lane is
stay in your lane. Exactly.
I don't want to build websites. I don't want to know how. I just want it done. Like
I'm the same way. We have so much in common. Like organization is not my middle name. Okay.
The systems and doing spreadsheets and data entry and all that. I beat myself.
Stick a needle in my eye.
Correct. I'm like, no. Put me on a camera, do it like what we're doing now all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Typing in names and numbers and calling. Oh, it's just not my thing.
No.
I know that. So I think the first step is recognizing your strengths.
Yes.
What your lane is, and then really focus in and stay on your lane. I get sidetracked. I'm like squirrel because I want to sell and endorse everything I can. Everybody wants me to do all these things. But my coaches are like, no. You need to say no. Focus on this and work on and you've given everything to everyone else now.
You're speaking my language right now. I mean, it's exactly what I'm going through right now. I mean, I've got 3 different kinds of ADD. I'm running in 3 different directions all the time.
Yeah. Because we want to serve. We want to serve. We come from a serving, I think, mentality.
Absolutely. And we can do it all. And it's sometimes, and then you get burned out, right? It's like, that's where the self-care comes in.
Age. I don't want to keep doing this for another day.
Yeah, exactly. At some point you'd like to go. Yeah. Right.
A lot of work. No, it's just scaling and being smart. And so you asked me what's next, and that's what's next. I think I'm going to take my past, my journey, and what I've been successful at, and teach others. And I think that's
awesome. I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect.
Share. And I feel if you don't share your expertise and your knowledge and all that, that is, to me, is being selfish.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people do that because they're like, you know what, there's less for me. But you know what, the more that you serve, you understand there's enough for everybody.
Abundance. I live in abundance.
Exactly. Abundance, not scarcity and lack. Absolutely.
Correct. Oh my gosh. It's such an easy mindset shift, but it's not easy. You have to.
It's not, you know what it is? And you said 3 things earlier. They're very similar to what I say. It's an intention, consistency, and action. And consistency is really, really important.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just doing my show, whether one person's on there or 1 million, it's all the same. You act as if there's 1 million people on it. You just keep going every single week, and people know it's there. And now I'm added up. Now they know it's always going to be there. So it's really nice. Or like, they know who I am. I show up in a savvy outfit, or they know that I endorse this because that's what I always do.
Yes.
And so when they're ready, you know what I mean? Because people may say no to you. I talked about this in another interview earlier. No does not mean no forever. It just means no right now. Mm-hmm. And so you may impact someone's life. You don't even know it, for one, and they may call you 5 years down the road. Hey, now I'm ready. Like, yeah. So, don't.
That's really good to apply in your life. Like,
absolutely.
You lost a job or a heartbreak or something like that. Always going. My mom used to say, never say never. Right?
Never say never. And that's right. Never say never. You don't know. We don't know what God's will is for us. We just have to be open. I find my life is so much easier. I just wake up. I do my prayers. I told you earlier, I put my verses on. I hear, his word. I just, say a little prayer. God, what do you have in store for me today? What is your will? And not me. Get out of my own way. That's usually
you took the words out of my mouth. Get out of your own way. Right? Because this thing right here can take over. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
it's not easy. None of the stuff is easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Everybody would do it. I mean, you know what? I say
everybody that you can't. Fabulous like us.
What'd you say? And not everybody
would be fabulous like us.
Exactly. Oh my God. It's such a pleasure. I'm elated right now. I mean, seriously, you are amazing. You're so inspiring. I cannot wait to meet you in person. And
you are.
I mean in the flesh. Yeah, I'm going to meet you in person, in the flesh, not just over Zoom. Yeah, exactly. So thank you.
Coming to my house.
I'm coming to your house. You're going to train me, and then you're going to take me to your church.
You can ride my Harley to church. I have a Harley. I'll throw you on the back. We'll roll up to church. I'll get you a good seat.
Okay, well, yeah. And I'll do
we'll lunch, we'll train.
Awesome.
It's a good life.
It is a good life.
Did we freeze?
Yeah, no, you froze, but I can still hear you. So the podcast people will hear you. Now you're back. The YouTube people that are watching it are going to see you freeze, but you know what? Hey, it is meant to go that way. So anyway, again, everybody get her book, Beneath the Muscle, beneaththemuscle.com. Go in and fill out your information. And, and laurenpowers.com is your website. So if people want to train with you, if they're local, that's great. And if they're not local, they can still train with you. So thank you so much for being a guest on. And thank you all for listening to another episode of Transparent.
And get on a free call with me.
Oh, free call. That's right. I forgot to tell them about that. So it's a free, how long's the call?
30 minutes. Free assessment call.
30 minutes free call. I mean, you can't pass that up.
$500 value. It's $500 value free to your listeners.
For free. Okay, perfect. I love that. Thank you. You're giving a lot of stuff away free today. So.
I know. Generous heart. I know.
Exactly. The more you give, the more you get. My motto.
That's right. That's right. I can't wait to meet you too.
Me
Call me
too.
after. Call me
Okay,
after.
I will. And so just hang on when I end the show, just stay on here for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us today. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's Tina, Transparent with Tina. And of course, if you haven't downloaded my podcast, please do that as well. I'm on almost every platform. So thanks again for listening and viewing, and we will see you all next week.